Seneca was one of the richest men in Rome. He moved through marble halls. He was surrounded by power, influence, and luxury that most people could never imagine. And yet, the central warning of his life was not about money. It was about time. Because Seneca understood something the modern world still refuses to admit. The poorest person is not the one with an empty wallet. The poorest person is the one with an empty life. We are careful with money. We count it. We protect it. We negotiate over it. We feel offended when someone wastes it. But time, our only non-renewable resource, we give away like it's worthless. We lend our hours to trivialities. We donate our attention to noise. We surrender our mornings to scrolling, our afternoons to anxious busyness, and our nights to distraction. And then, one day, we look up and feel the shock of a terrifying truth. Life did not disappear all at once. It was stolen in small pieces. Seneca wrote to a friend in words that still cut like a blade. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements, if it is well invested. If it is well invested. That is the difference between a meaningful life and a life that feels like sand slipping through the fingers. Now, listen closely. Seneca was not speaking to peasants. He was speaking to the powerful, to the wealthy, to the ambitious, to the people who believed they were too busy for wisdom. And he said, in essence, you are being robbed every day. Robbed not by strangers in the street, but by your own habits, your own priorities, your own illusions, because most people do not protect their life. They protect their comfort. They protect their reputation. They protect their image. They protect their schedule. They protect their fears. But they do not protect their hours. If you feel like your life is slipping through your fingers and you want to reclaim your focus, you are in the right place. Subscribe to Stoic Path Mastery now. We are on a mission to help you build a life of purpose, and your subscription ensures you have the tools to stay on the path. Now let's go deeper. Seneca argued that life is long enough, if you know how to use it. But most of us are robbed every day by trivialities, by obligations we never chose, by entertainment that numbs the mind, and by the endless demand to look busy. And the modern world celebrates this robbery. It praises exhaustion. It romanticizes hustle. It rewards constant availability. But Seneca would look at a modern life. Notifications, frantic schedules, constant stimulation, and he would call it a form of slavery. Not slavery of the body, slavery of the mind. Because if you cannot control where your attention goes, you do not own your life. And here is the urgent truth. Your attention is your life, in concentrated form. Where your attention goes, your days go. Where your days go, your life goes. So today, we audit our lives through the eyes of the Master, not to feel guilty, not to feel ashamed, but to wake up. Because the first step to mastery is seeing the theft. We live as if we have an infinite supply of time. We postpone the work that matters. We delay the conversation that could heal a relationship. We put off building character. We treat our dreams like they are guaranteed to wait for us. We say, someday I'll start. Someday I'll slow down. Someday I'll get serious. Someday I'll become disciplined. Someday I'll live. Seneca called this the most dangerous illusion of all. The belief that life is owned by us in the future. Because the truth is brutal. Life is being spent right now. Every hour you waste is an hour you will never recover. Not next week. Not with more money. Not with a new routine. Not with a new promise. And Seneca goes even further. He reminds us that death is not a distant event waiting at the end of the road. Death is happening now, in the simplest sense. Every second that passes is a second you no longer have. This is not meant to depress you. It is meant to sober you. A Stoic does not think about death to become gloomy. A Stoic thinks about death to become precise. Because when you remember that time is finite, you stop giving it away to what is cheap. At Stoic Path Mastery, time management is not productivity culture. It is a spiritual discipline. It is the practice of saying no to the non-essential so you can say yes to what strengthens your character. And this is why Seneca's wisdom is so uncomfortable. It exposes how much of our daily life is not actually life. It is preparation. Many people are always preparing to live. They prepare the career. They prepare the perfect body. They prepare the perfect relationship. They prepare the perfect moment. And in the process of preparing, they never actually arrive. Seneca would say, "You are not busy. You are scattered. You are not fulfilled. You are occupied." Now, what does this have to do with wealth? Everything. Because Seneca was wealthy, and yet he wrote relentlessly about enough. He knew that wealth is not evil, but attachment is. Wealth is a tool, but obsession is a trap. The problem is not having money. The problem is being owned by it. So Seneca practiced something radical: poverty rehearsal. He would intentionally live for periods of time with minimal food, rough clothing, and simple conditions. And he would ask himself a humiliating question: is this what I feared? The purpose was not self-punishment. It was freedom. Because when you prove to yourself that you can endure less, you become bulletproof to the fear of losing status. You stop worshiping comfort. You stop panicking about the opinions of others. You stop living like you must constantly protect a fragile identity. And in that freedom, time becomes clear again. Because so much time is wasted not on real work, but on performance. Performing success, performing busyness, performing importance. Seneca would tell you, the more you depend on external approval, the more time you surrender. You become available to everyone but yourself. So the discipline of enough is also the discipline of time. When you stop chasing endless more, you stop bleeding hours. And when you stop bleeding hours, you finally begin to live. Seneca had a terrifying observation. The busiest people are often the most miserable. Not because they work hard. Hard work is honorable. But because their busyness is not guided by purpose. It is guided by avoidance. They are always rushing, always responding, always reacting, always handling things. But inside, they feel strangely empty because they are not directing their life. Life is directing them. And here is the tragedy Seneca describes. People who are always preparing to live, but never actually live. They postpone joy. They postpone virtue. They postpone presence. They treat life like a rehearsal. But you do not get a rehearsal. You get one life. So what is the Stoic solution? Protect your hours as if they were gold. Because they are worth more than gold. You can earn more money, but you cannot earn more time. You can recover from financial loss, but you cannot recover a wasted decade. This is why Stoicism is urgent, because the theft is happening daily. And here is the modern version of the thief. Not a person, but a pattern. Mindless scrolling, low-grade anxiety, compulsive checking, gossip disguised as connection, trivial tasks disguised as productivity, constant availability disguised as being responsible. These things don't look dramatic. That's why they win. They steal in silence. So today, we fight back. Day 3. Challenge: the time audit. For the next 24 hours, you will identify one habit that is stealing your life. 1. Not 10. 1. It might be mindless scrolling. It might be gossip. It might be saying yes to every request. It might be overworking on trivial tasks that make you feel busy, but do not build your character. It might be constantly checking messages out of fear of missing something. Choose one thief. Name it. Then eliminate it for 24 hours. Not reduce it. Not be mindful. Eliminate it. And here's the second part. The part most people skip. Use the reclaimed hour intentionally. Do not fill it with another distraction. Use it for depth. Use it for reflection. Use it for planning your life like a commander. Use it for a conversation that matters. Use it for reading something that strengthens your mind. Use it for silence so you can hear yourself again. Because the goal is not to be busy less. The goal is to live more. And remember this: wealth is a tool. Time is your life. If you master money but waste time, you are still poor. But if you master time, if you protect your attention, your mornings, your values, you become wealthy in the only currency that matters. So make the decision today. Stop living for the expectations of others. Stop being available to noise. Stop spending your life like you have another one waiting. Protect your hours. Guard your mind. Invest your life where it actually pays. Subscribe to Stoic Path Mastery if you haven't already, and continue this 30-day forge with us. Because your focus is not a small thing. It is your destiny. Day 3 is complete. Tomorrow, we continue deeper into the Stoic training that turns ordinary men into unshakable minds. Until then, live deliberately, spend wisely, stay stoic.